You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic bootcamp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Chiro Hustle live stream. This is a morning edition, and I have episode number 45, Tory Robson, and he does something called Winner's Edge. But before we get too much into what he does, we're going to cover on why live events. We're going to talk a little bit about reverse engineering your own success. And before we get into all that, I just want to welcome Dr. Tory to the live stream. Welcome.
Great to be here. Appreciate you having me, Jim.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think that you have so much intensity towards the ethical standard for success for chiropractors that we're going to really turn some people on and open up some people's perceptions of what's actually possible.
That's usually what happens.
But before we jump into that, I'm going to just say thank you to Posture Screen and Joe Ferrancelli for sponsoring this episode of the Chiro Hustle live stream. And if you guys are interested in getting more details on how to read people's analysis of their posture based on a mobile app, you can reach out to Joe and he'll be able to help you out, him and his team. So first question for you, and I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this one, is who are you and what are you doing right now with chiropractic?
I'm a guy who knows a little bit about one thing, and that's the world of chiropractic and practicing chiropractic, and then really what it takes to get into the minds of chiropractors and help them grow and create incredible practices, which means reaching and helping more people. So my day and my life consists of what can I do physically and what can I do mentally to be able to be of influence and be of value to patients, to the community, and of course to chiropractors and to the world. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not sure if that answers your question, but that's a start.
Yeah, I think so. And I know that you do something really incredible by teaching systems, and you help find people that might not have the right path, and you might push them into the right direction, and you do something called Winner's Edge. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so because of my success in practice and all the things I was able to do in practice, I had a lot of people ask me, hey, will you show us what you're doing? Will you teach us to do the stuff that you're doing and all this? So I almost got forced into starting to teach some seminars. And so I called the group Winner's Edge Chiropractic Consulting. It's just known as Winner's Edge in the chiropractic universe now. Well, anyway, so now we have seminars, high-level trainings. I've got an entire training center here. I've got an 11,000 square foot mixed martial arts training center that we use for our chiropractic boot camps and many of our chiropractic workshops when we're not using a hotel for a lot of our live events. So I've assembled here a variety of events for DCs and CAs, of course, with all the other elements that we have to give the chiropractor every possible chance to be as successful as they can be in the key areas of life: love, relationships, health, fitness, career, practice, and money. And everything in your life can fit into those four categories.
Yeah, that's impressive. And anybody listening, I'm sure they should get their notebooks out. When I listen to DeMartini talk, he's like, you might want to get your notebook out and take a few notes down on this one.
Yeah, we just had him join us from Sydney at the boot camp we had here this last weekend.
Yeah, so let's channel into that a little bit. And why are live events so important for what you're doing?
Well, you have to have an immersion. There's something that happens when you get around the vibration level of other people. See, that's like going to an event live or a concert live, of course, is different than having it on the best TV that you can buy. We have to get an immersion. We have to get our physical body around other successful people and into that vibrational state, because we will draw on that. And, really live events, it isn't so much like, sit back and, Tory, teach me something. It's what you hear people talk about at lunch and on the breaks, and the person you sit next to, what you might pick up from them. My life and my success is really the result of a handful of people that said one sentence to me. I can trace it back to this person said this one single sentence, and it changed the course of my life. I didn't really talk to that person again. Then I was over here and this person said this, and that directed me to another level. And this person I was around said that, and that got me going to the next level. And those things never happen if you're not at the events.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and that's why I've become somewhat of a chiropractic seminar. I call it the Chiropractic Roadshow. I'm on this like tour to find out the knowledge, and I read Matthew Loop's book, and he's like, if you want to become an influencer, you need to go where the influencers are. You need to meet the influencers, and you need to listen to them, and you need to take notes.
Yeah.
And it sounds like
I'm sure he got that from somebody else, because that's your right. You want to be a big dog, you hang around the big dogs.
And then, likeness breeds likeness. And as soon as you start putting yourself around these high dynamic characters, they say you can't put your hand in a pot of glue without getting some of it on you.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it.
So let's talk next about success paradigm. And last time we talked, you talked about kind of how to reverse engineer somebody's success paradigm from like a linear stance. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, we can do it a lot of different ways. I'll do it a couple different ways. Let's just realize one thing here in chiropractic, and I think this gets lost in the world of consulting, and that is, here's what matters. What matters is that you retire with money. You can't retire on patient visits. You're going to need money, and a lot of it. So the name of the game, chiropractic is your profession. But your real mission, my mission as a man, is a separate thing, and chiropractic is my profession that fits into my mission in life as a man. So let's say, for example, we want to have a certain dollar amount, and every chiropractor should have a goal to have 2 million in a pile when you're done. Let's use that as a framework here. Some will have 10. Some won't have anything. But let's say 2 million at the age of 65. Well, let's look right now. Right now, if you look at how much you're automatically saving, how fast your debt is reducing, and just take that out until the age of 65, will it get you to that 2 million? Or are you going to get to that? You're going to get to where you're saving more down the road. You're going to get to where you get those student loans paid off. See, you're on a vector right now, and that vector is going somewhere in clear-cut dollar numbers. And so the vector that you're on, will it get you to 2 million at the age 65? So if that's not the case, which it's most of the case, 99% of the time in the world of chiropractic, and I've got chiropractors, I've had this consulting group, that consulting group for years, and they don't know anything. They should get every penny back that they ever spent because they still haven't got their student loans paid off. They don't know anything about money or anything about what really is going to matter in the future, which is you got to have money, you got to have your health, you got to have your integrity, you got to have your belief system, family, all of these things that matter and count. And that's what's going to count in the end. So we have to work backwards on that. So in this particular case, if you want to have 2 million, well, we're going to have to break it down, back down all the way till now. Look at that number of years. How much do you need to be saving automatically every week to end up with the 2 million at age 65? You can figure out that number in approximately 15 or 20 seconds. So we can back engineer very easily what you need to be saving. And of course, here at Winner's Edge, we have automated savings weekly, our entire underlying money flow architecture, which is the best that has ever existed in chiropractic, if any other ones ever did exist, okay? We have to get the underlying money flow architecture in place and get that vector set. So now all I got to do is stay alive. My whole future is set. I just have to stay alive and avoid the big D's: debt, divorce, and death. If I can avoid those, then I'm already set. Now we can do that also with practice goals. We could break it to a year. How many visits is it going to take this year? Break it down to the month and break it down to the week. And then the total collections for the year, break it down to the month, break it down to the week. And we do that 2 years in advance. So if we can get those right numbers planted into the subconscious mind, we can get the vector set. Well, then we're using some real natural and universal principles that will always work for everybody. And these have nothing to do with chiropractic, but everything to do with chiropractic success. So very quickly, if we get the goal set and locked in, say for the year, we break them down to the month, we break them down. We've got a whole science to this. I already have the forms filled out for people to complete. It's amazing. Then once we have that number one, number two, we're going to declutter your life. You're going to clean house, every file folder, every drawer, every shelf, every cupboard. glove box in the car, trunk of the car, garage, back deck, old underwear, old shoes, old spatulas, whatever. You're going to clean out everything. If you don't get rid of about 25% of everything you own, you didn't do it right. So what do we do now? Number one, we have the target set. Number two, we created a vacuum. Now we're able to receive. Then, and only then, will every single thing we do, everything, will actually then be moving us toward those goals, because they're set clearly, they're broken down, they're mathematically correct, and we've prepared to receive physically. And when we clean things out physically, we're cleaning out our mind mentally. Something like that.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of the things that we're involved with right now, one of my favorite things to say is the math is broken. And most people just don't understand the dynamics of success and able to make the math make sense for them to get to those points where they retire with that bundle of 2 million.
The chiropractors, there's a whole suck at math, the most basic math. Yeah, just bad at math. In fact, if you look at chiropractors' decision making for team and for space and expenses and adding other chiropractors, chiropractors find new and inventive ways to take home less money because they're too lazy to sit and really work out the math. I think what happens with us in chiropractic is we had such a rigorous academic thing that when it's done, we don't want to sit at the desk and do the academic grinding work ever again. But that is the key to being in the top 1%, top 1/10 of 1% of all chiropractors on earth. Okay, I got this calculator. It's one of the oldest things I own. I got this as a sophomore in college at Montana State University in 1986. That's the calculator I bought at the school bookstore in Bozeman, Montana in 1986, and I still have it. The only thing that I own personally that's older than this, I think, is my Social Security card. There it is, and it's sitting next to me right now. This thing has never been more than 5 feet away from me since 1986. Anyway, okay.
So the math is not broken with Winner's Edge.
No, that's why I like Iron Man so much. And if my math is correct, and it always is, that's what Iron Man says. I think that's a great line, because it does boil down to good, smart, mathematical decisions in all areas of practice ownership. And all these things are done, right? We're talking about money, but really it's all done because I want to get my mind free so I can deliver the best care. I want my mind free, all the systems in order in place and automated. So then I have nothing left, or I have maximum available to really be focused, present time conscious, the best adjustments at the best time, in the best sequence, in the best manner, with the best language, with the most, overall influence to bring in more people to help with natural chiropractic care. And again, second only to the biblical story of your eternal salvation, which this book is also never more than 4 feet away from me, okay, is the chiropractic principle and the chiropractic story of nerve flow, subluxation, restoration of life through the awesomeness of chiropractic adjustments.
When I hear you talk, it's so poetic for me to just hear good business principles mixed with good philosophy.
Yeah.
And
you rest on something. You're coming from somewhere. You stand for something. And you got to have this foundation of chiropractic principle, foundation, of just who are you as a man? Who are you as a woman? Do you finish what you start? Do you go for it? Are you weak? Are you afraid all the time? Do you live in fear? Do you have the courage? Do you really want to reach people? Do you seek leisure more than you seek the hard work? And I got, this is the only body I've got. I've got this lifetime. I want to maximize what I've got here. I want to see if I can reach a few people. I'm going to get down again to the dark river of death. And he's going to say, hey, Tory, did you bring anybody with you? I want to be able to have a whole pile of people with me.
Yeah, just hearing your vision and your intensity, I think people are going to really take away a lot from this episode of this live stream. But let's talk daily. How do you get yourself geared up daily to go out there and dominate the way you do?
Okay. Well, I look at it this way. Your dinner is what fuels you for the next day. So the dinner that you have, the quality of the rest, that's what fuels you for the next day. So I have I'm serious about my body fueling, all right? And then I have a special cereal that I make and the kind of different milks that I will use in the morning. So I'm going to get myself fueled right. My mind will be right because I will have, I'll be well rested, and I'll be prepared through body fueling. And then it just turns into, I have this day, and it's very structured in the sense that I have all these things scheduled into my day. And then I just simply want to deliver basically minute by minute, hour by hour. I just want to always be useful every moment as I go throughout the day, right? Something along those lines. But there might be days where I physical train more. I might be on the mats more. There might be days that I might have more patients to see. There might be days where I have more intense phone calls, or I might be preparing for a big Winter's Edge event. So regardless of the variety of the day, you know, I'm very good at instinctively knowing I've got to make sure I get all these things done at a high level today and timing it out. So when I need to perform or when I need to do something, whether it's adjust a certain patient or have an incredible event, I get all the work done. So when I'm there, I am present time, I am complete, I am thorough, I am organized, and I am ready.
That's exactly how I saw you when I first met you at New Beginnings. And I'm like, I almost did like a complete turnaround circle, and I saw you walk by, and I'm like, that's somebody I need to talk to. Yeah. And there we go. That just talks to how we've became acquainted. Was I went to a live event. I saw you there. You weren't there very long, but I saw you walk by, and I was like, I have to talk to him.
Yeah, it's just, I'll give you an example here. Grab it. Like for something like for a boot camp, you know, I will have, I will take my own letterhead, and I will literally, with a pencil, I'll have exactly all the topics for each hour with check boxes, all complete from the very beginning of the whole thing. This is a 15 hours a day, 2 days, or it's a 30-hour training in 2 days. But I'll have it all laid out, all in detail, every single module perfectly from start to finish. All right. Any handouts? Of course, for us, we got to feed people. We've got to get people transported. We have all these other things that come into play. But the planning is the key. The whole point here is we have to be able to use this more and understand the math of the practice, and even math with patients and patient care plans. But we also really have to have incredible planning. Those who plan the best usually do the best because their planning is the best. See, being in the Air Force like I was, if your planning is off, guess what? You get killed. Guess what? Your planning is off, so you get blown out of the sky, you know, because you didn't plan well enough. You didn't plan well enough. You didn't execute well enough. We want to plan well. We want to execute well for our patients, for ourselves, for our team, for our family, for our friends, for our pets, for crying out loud. Those who plan the best, really, really go the farthest.
So what you're saying is structure matters a lot, and routine matters a lot. And knowing who you are before you build that structure and that routine really, really matters. You have to know who you are, declutter your personal world, and get back to the basics. Get back to these 4 things that really matter to people for personal, you know, success. And then what you can do is you can legitimize your time throughout the day to make sure that you're serving yourself so you can serve others.
Yeah, you know, structure is what allows you to have spontaneity. People say, I don't want to be so. You have to have a certain amount of structure in place, and organization and discipline, because what do we learn from Jocko? We learn that discipline equals freedom. And I've been a proponent of that way before I ever knew who he was.
Yeah, and I think that some of these things that you share with people, you put some of them in here, this book called Money, Chiropractic, and You. Yep. Let's talk a little bit about that and what it can do for them, for people that are watching.
Well, here's what happened very quickly is I was going to send an email to all of my clients around the country just about different money levels. Okay, you get going in practice, and then you start paying down some debt, and then you do the right thing with the car, and we go along those lines. And then it ended up being long, so I decided to turn it into a PDF. I was going to make a PDF and be 1 or 2 pages, attach it, send it to all my people. It ends up being 150 pages. Because I end up writing about all these different things, and I put in there all these different questions I get asked in an interview format. Tory, why this? Why that? What about associates? What about this? What do you mean by save your age? When should I buy a house? You know, how much can a chiropractor really think that they can take home based on how much they collect? What about hours? What about floor? All of these different things that the questions I get asked got assimilated and put into that 150 pages. And that's going all around the country right now. And in fact, I'm quite sure that is probably the most popular book that exists in chiropractic today. And if you don't have it, we send those out for free. In fact, we just had to get another 1,000 of them sitting stacked up in boxes about 10 feet from me here. And we send those to any chiropractor that wants one for free. Or chiropractic students, we send cases, and we have students giving them out boxes of 100 at a time at chiropractic colleges. There's such a need for just foundational practice success information. And I think that nice little 150 pages and a nice paperback, lots of pictures in color, no less, okay, that people really, really like it.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle Live. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession. This episode is brought to you by Clothes for Chiro, Chiro Sushi, Barbara Eaton's 56-day chiropractic boot camp, Moveville University, Pure Chiro Notes, Dr. Alok Trivedi, the Black Diamond Club, Element Mattresses, Legacy Wealth Management, Posture Screen, Vita Chiropractic, the Universal Traction System, MedZone, Vantage Point Marketing, and Imaging Services. Let's hustle.
There's big text too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Let's find some colored pictures for him. Oh, there you go. And this is some pictures of adjusting, some pictures of you enjoying your life with some friends. And,
yeah, you have some rage in there.
It looks like you grapple too. You
grapple all the time.
Tell us why you do that and how that helps you balance yourself out.
Well, the more you get choked in practice, the less you get choked in life. So being a jiu-jitsu practitioner, it forces you into horribly uncomfortable situations repeatedly, and it forces you to engineer the way of escape and the way to figure out how to get out of it. And there's a technique and a counter for practically everything. And so it's the matter of being able to learn that and being able to engage that at the right time and in the right way. And so life is the same way. Wrestling is life. You're in a wrestling match financially. You're in a wrestling match with patients, wrestling match with a spouse, wrestling match with CAs, wrestling match with your student loans. You're in a wrestling match, and you want to be physically and mentally prepared, know all the moves that you have available to you so you can negotiate those situations the best. And the most extreme example of that is jiu-jitsu, because in jiu-jitsu, if I tap, it means I'm dead. Or the guy broke my arm and then he killed me. Where else can you do that? You can't do that in boxing, but in jiu-jitsu, you can go to the point where you're actually not that far from death, literal death. And then you tap, let go, boom, and then here we go again, and we try again. And so the lessons you learn that are humbling, and the more successful someone becomes, the more it's smart to be humbled. I got humbled this morning. I got choked, arm locked, Americana, Kimura, you name the submission. I got crushed by one of my black belt instructors, okay? And I walked off the mat a better man, a humbled man, okay? Ready, prepared, mindset ready, fueled to go about my chiropractic day. If you're not in jiu-jitsu, I highly recommend it. And if you have kids, get them in jiu-jitsu. You know, millions of kids were bullied last year. None of them were in jiu-jitsu, and none of them were wrestlers. All right. But again, that's from my own personal perspective. But the more you're comfortable in confrontation, like if someone came up and bear hugged me and grabbed me and went to throw me to the ground, it would be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Be like, oh, finally I get to practice on somebody, the point is this: the more you're comfortable with confrontation in a very vicious and physical way, the easier it is to work with everybody else in the world. And the most difficult patient that would ever come in, the guy who's asking 5,000 questions because he's a judge and his wife just came in as a patient and now he's grilling you, it makes all of these things so much more easy. Little food for thought there. Jiu-jitsu is life.
No, I feel
keep it in perspective because chiropractic is my thing, but that's my preferred form of working out, along with my kettlebell training and these other things that I do to add variety into my physical training life.
But, the thing about jiu-jitsu is you guys aren't actually physically trying to kill each other. You guys are trying to push each other to get stronger. Yeah,
you're just applying. It's a chess match. It's just a chess match. And it's I have 2 arms and 2 legs. The opponent has 2 arms and 2 legs. He can move his any way he wants. I can move mine any way I want. And whoever's smarter and applies those movements the best ends up in a dominant situation. Which is exactly true with money, exactly true with your patients, exactly true with kids, exactly true in relationships. We just have intellect and all these things, and we want to be able to negotiate all these situations well so everybody can win. I want everybody to win in my personal life, and I want all the chiropractors to win, and their teams to win, and patients to win. There's always a way to make the greatest number of people win. I want to put myself into a physical and mental state. Jiu-jitsu is part of my training to do that, so that when I interact with people, I'm able to be more valuable. So when I talk or I show up, people are better just standing in my sheer presence, let alone if I talk, say, or do anything. All right. And I pride myself on being the real thing. If your neck or your spine is jacked up, okay, and you've got a high level competition for a national title or for a world championship, you call me, because I'm physically and mentally prepared to take care of the highest level people so that everybody else below that, and believe me, the 40-year-old mom with headaches is just as important to me as a person fighting for the UFC title. They're all important. Everybody's care, everybody's concerned. I want to be a sports chiropractor. The lady who sprains her ankle carrying in groceries, it's the same thing. I want them all in to see me, and I want to be at my physical and mental best.
Yeah, our buddy Travis Corcoran, he's got 5 practices over in the Netherlands, and I think he's really enjoying this episode. He says, loving the passion.
One of my good fighter friends, patients, Martin Kampman, is one of the top martial arts instructors over there, and he's I forget what's the name of the town. It's where Lego is. It's Aarhus. That's where he is. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, but he has 5 practices over there, and he's really enjoying this episode. And he's like looking forward to a copy of that, Jim, talking about your book. This is a great interview. He says, thank you, Jim and Tory, for the great interview. Great plans provide great confidence to create great action. That's one of his comments. By the way, we've been friends for over 10 years, and I've seen what this guy has done over the past couple of years. Absolutely amazing. I think you guys have great congruency. There's a reason he's watching today.
Sure.
Yeah, he's
feather flock together.
He's definitely a top tier guy. He's speaking this summer over at a big chiropractic conference. It's their second year doing it. It's called Axiom Seminar. It's a big
that's
thing.
great.
They're putting on this big Chiro Europe thing going on over in Amsterdam. Yeah, he's speaking there.
We need another 100,000 chiropractors in the world.
On fire, just like Travis Corcoran.
Chiropractic can change the entire world. Chiropractic is like it can change the entire planet. Okay, the divorce rate would go down, the murder rate would go down, the rape rate would go down, productivity would go up. Chiropractic can change the entire planet as much or more than any other single thing that exists in all of humanity. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable thing. Chiropractic really is an unbelievable. And the more I'm in the game here, the more and more and more I appreciate it, and the more thankful I am that I'm in this incredible profession.
Yeah, and Travis says, yes, more Chiros, yes, all caps. So he understands exactly what you're saying. We need to create more chiropractors, but a couple of things that I think that are vital to the future of chiropractic is we need to keep a hold of our vernacular when it comes to subluxation, innate intelligence, and universal intelligence, and understanding that this is why we are who we are. Oh yeah, subluxation. And there's nothing greater than that adjustment to turn the light on in someone's life and allow them to live without the disease and the dysfunction and the contortion of having a twisted nervous system.
Chiropractic is so cool. It's just such a cool thing because it's so anatomically sound, and it is amazing. And those of you out there who know, when you get a really good adjustment, I mean, it completely changes the course of your life. You're going this way, and boom, really good adjustment. You go this way now. It's an incredible thing. Yeah, and so the uniqueness of chiropractic must be preserved because it just is what it is. And when we stick to that principle, it's a worthwhile pursuit, the pursuit of chiropractic in its simple beauty. Not to say you can't do some other things in your office from time to time, let's say, but it has to be anchored to this chiropractic principle of nerve flow.
So we're pushing up on the edge of our time together.
What?
If people want this book, if people want this book, how do they get it?
Well, it's pretty easy. You can just go to the website, winnersedgeconsulting.com. You can just send us an email there. You can Facebook message us, just Facebook Winner's Edge, and just send us a message there. You just get us your contact information, and we'll send you a book. If you want us to send you 100 of them, we'll send you 100 of them. I'm committed to send these. These things aren't free. You buy cases of books. You got to pay for these things. But one of my commitments, I will send that book to any chiropractor anywhere in the world for free. And if you think you can give away 100 of them, we'll send you 100 of them. I want to reach. I'm willing to give away my best stuff for free. I haven't charged a patient for a day one exam in 20 years. Why? I'm willing to give away my best stuff for free to give people a chance to see if they want to choose me, and I want to have them as a patient and have them benefit for chiropractic care. I'm willing to give away my best stuff for free. So that's one of my commitments to the profession. I'll give that book away to anybody who wants it. All you got to do is ask.
Well, that's just it, is when you build yourself into that vessel of abundance, giving away books is an honor. It's fun.
Oh, of course.
It's fun to do because you're giving something to somebody that's going to learn, and they're going to be able to apply these tested strategies and how they can actually develop themselves into a productive earning chiropractor.
Yeah, like the title on it says thoughts and solutions for the most difficult practice questions. You have 30, 40,000 coaching calls, talk to 50 to 100 chiropractors a week. You teach all these events, you travel all around. Plus, I'm still in the trenches. I'm in an office, patients walking in and out right now as I speak. I got my finger on the pulse of things. I can kind of see the matrix now, and there's a lot to learn from that. And so the book is not some sort of little copy job book like a lot of people make. They go and they make some sort of token book so they can stick their face on it and go, ooh, wee, look at me, but it's actually a sell job. No, that's just raw meat and potato information, and there it is for you to take advantage of.
Yeah, everybody's looking for that magic ghostwriter out there to make them look cool, so they can just I'm a New York Times bestseller, I'm an Amazon bestseller.
Yeah. But even that, if someone wants, I will email you the PDF. Here's the 150-page PDF all ready to go. We'll email it to you also if you want that. If you like to read on a cell phone, which I like to do sometimes. And of course, we love to send you the hard copy too, because holding the paper in your hands that's always the best.
Yeah, when it came to my house, I was really surprised, and it was an honor for you to send it to me because it says for practicing chiropractors only, and for me, it's a gem though, because I'll be able to read it and I'll be able to help more people with the information that you shared with me, because it is my niche market, and that's who I want to see succeed.
Yeah, we appreciate what you're doing, Jim. I mean, things like this and the traveling you're doing. I look at your schedule, your dedication, your commitment to gathering information and being able to share it with others. I'm telling you, if it gets 10 more people under chiropractic care, it saves one kid or helps one person continue on their athletic career, or it helps some female go and get a great scholarship at a college. You're reaching people, and the reach is great, and the greater the better. So really appreciate the work you're doing, Jim, by doing this and all these other things that you do for the profession.
Well, it's an honor for me because just like you, I'm dedicating my life to excellence. And just this last month, I did 65 interviews. Yeah. I want to meet somebody else that's done that, And
why not win?
That's winning.
Why not win? Choose winning.
People ask me why I do the chiropractic profession the way I do, because people don't understand why it's so important to understand. It's a paradigm shift. We need to get people to start thinking about chiropractic as being something that gives life to them instead of takes money from them.
Oh, of course. The trade is nothing. Like here at Winner's Edge, nothing ever costs anybody money. Like the Winner's Edge chiropractor, nothing ever costs them money. They never pay for anything. Okay. Every dollar that leaves us comes back 10 times more. If anything is an added expense in our life, our business will grow naturally to take care of it. We have all these thought processes. Nothing ever costs us money. Everything that leaves us comes back as a multiple, because you learn to think like the high performance winner thinks. And that's what makes all the difference.
All right. So I know people out there want to work with you. It's without a doubt, after hearing the passion and the attention to detail that you spend to get people prepared to go out and to have their battle planned for them. How does that look like if people want to come on board and work with you?
Well, most won't be able to do it because most chiropractors are too lazy and most chiropractors are too weak, so they won't make it here. But the chiropractors that want to do some work and want to have incredible systems and incredible procedures and financial disciplines and physical training, and you want to be in the top 1% of chiropractors on earth and the most successful, most influential, most generous, most prosperous, most result-oriented chiropractor who ever lived in your area, well, then that's when you call me. All right. Easy to get a hold of, winnersedgeconsulting.com.
Yeah, Travis, once again, over there in the Netherlands says, Jim, dude, this guy's an absolute baller. Thank you for introducing this guy to me. And, when you are able to be exposed like this and you can share your message, one of the things I close out my interviews with now is you're just one story away. Keep hustling. And you're just one story away from building more influence. So having you on the show today, being able to share your story and your message and your information, you might grab 5 more people that are dying to know what you have, that didn't know where to go or who to trust for this information and how to level up and know that the resources are already available for them.
Yeah, there's no reason for a chiropractor to not do well today with the kind of information that you're able to share. What we have, of course, in the form of books, videos, audio materials, the information is there. It just takes the drive. It takes a certain drive to then apply it and really do something incredible in your life. And that's what we're here to do and help inspire as many people as we can to do.
Well, I'm going to close out for the day. I'm just going to thank everybody out there that was with us. Lily Serrano, Kim on late. We got some big things in store for the chiropractic profession coming up. Travis Corcoran, once again, over in the Netherlands. Mitchell Crema, I think he's a student at Palmer. He's smart. He says, yes, chiropractic. We need more chiropractors to make an impact on this planet. Then Travis is very chatty today. He must have had his coffee. I think it's nighttime. I think it's actually nighttime over there. It's 7 hours ahead of us. So it's probably like dinner time for him. We had Brian and Stephanie Fall. Nice. Have to prosper in every way. Barbara Eaton, she's rocking it too. She is a very successful chiropractor, helping chiropractors level up. She is one of our benchmark sponsors for the Chiro Hustle podcast, but she says, great to see you rocking Facebook Live again. We missed you, Jim Chester. I was on the road for 3 weeks, went to the Gonstead Clinic, went to Life West, went to the Palmer Mansion. I mean, we went on Billy DeMoss interview about opiates and depression and addiction. I mean, some of the things that we're doing, we're interviewing veterans about PTSD and chiropractic. We're about to roll out this big interview topic on the opiate epidemic and how chiropractors can step into the light and start treating those people.
Of course, chiropractic is it.
Exactly. But now we have these inroads where people are actually wanting and they know that this is a solution. They just didn't know that chiropractic was a solution for some of these things that we're now going to bring to light. The military people desperately need chiropractic in their life.
Don't even get me started.
The people that are suffering with, addictions, those people desperately need chiropractic into their life. And if we can start, serving these people with chiropractic, now the chiropractic profession is going to level up as well.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. A successful profession is one that's reaching the most number of people. And if you're smart financially, and of course, you're taking care of yourself physically, you just want to be the real thing. Are you the real thing? If you had a kid that grew up to be a chiropractor just like you, is that what you would want? Would you want them to be just like you? All right. So we want to be at our best because our people deserve it. Appreciate you, Jim.
Yeah, I'm going to just say thank you to Joe for sponsoring us with Posture Screen, and everybody out there, if you're interested in finding out the best way to decode people's poor posture standards, reach out to the Posture Screen team. And Tory, it's always a pleasure, man. You bring so much information and value to people. I think that more people just need to be connected to you, and this is a good vessel for people to learn from.
Yeah, sometimes I get called the stealth consultant. I'm into focusing on my people becoming ultra successful. I don't do a ton of marketing. I'm not trying to be Mr. Popular. Okay, I've got my focus, and my job is to drive the people in my sphere to the highest levels of reach in their communities and beyond. And so I appreciate you thinking about me and asking me to be on.
Well, we'll connect on the next one, and I can't wait to see you in person.
Appreciate you, man. See you soon.
All right, we'll see you.
Okay, Roger.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Chiro Hustle Live. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.